Okay, so we'll be starting now. So good morning, everyone. Just a few people in. I think we had about 50 registrations, so we're hoping for more. We have 13 now. 13 now logged in. A few names I can recognize, a few I can't, but we'll be starting shortly. Ahmed Adeyemi, I see your hand. I would allow you to talk. Hello, Ahmed. Your mic is muted.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mr. Wome. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to be here, meeting you guys. I'm hoping I can get the requisite experience in supply chain because I'm the managing director of my.
Sorry, we can't hear you. We just lost you.
I've been having some supply chain challenges.
Okay.
Which I hope I can actually gain some knowledge here to be able to.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for this opportunity to be with you.
Did you join? Yeah. Did you join the session last week?
No, it's my first
session on we had the actual session before the demo. This is your first time. Okay.
Yeah, it's my first time.
Hopefully you'll be able to catch up and let someone reach out to you also.
All right, thank you very much.
So sorry we're starting late. Well, we will kick off in the next, would I say, in the next 2 minutes. So we'll kick off at 10 past, just to allow for a few more people to join in.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you. Are you based in Lagos or outside Lagos?
I'm based in Kwara, Ilorin precisely.
You're based in Kwara, Ilorin.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. And what part of manufacturing or supply chain do you deal with?
I deal with casual procurement, actually. Casual procurement.
Sorry, we lost you. We can't hear you.
Yeah, I say I deal on casual procurement.
Casual procurement.
Procurement from Germany.
Procurement. Oh, okay.
Procurement.
All right. So is that raw materials as input to the manufacturing?
It's not raw materials. They are actually additives that are used for baking of breads.
Okay, fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's additives. So it is materials still going into the supply chain, right?
Yes.
Into the value chain. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. So.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, so we will be starting shortly.
Thank you.
Yeah, but definitely, I mean, we've got your details as you've registered, and if you drop your number, someone would also contact you.
All right.
And we will send the slides and the video of the previous edition.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. So you can mute your call now, please. Okay, so we start now. So good morning, everyone. My name is Wumi Ogwetwama, CEO of Crown Interactive. And right here on, we have Oluwaseun Olaoye, who's the CICOD supply chain product consultant. And we also have Mr. Damola Yusuf, partner technology advisory in PwC. Thank you very much for dialing in today. This is a follow-on session from the webinar events we had earlier on in the month. And we decided we'll do a demonstration and Q&A session as a follow-on for the event. So one of the things we'll be doing, or how we'll be going about it, is that I will take us through what I call a recap of the product and the directions we're looking at. Sean will take us through the product demonstration, and then we will open up for a question and answer session with myself, Damola as an expert in industry, and with Sean. All right. So thank you. So one of the things we like to say and that we have been pushing is what we call enabling e-business, enabling e-business in supply chain, enabling e-business for collaboration. But I would like to start by having our own definition, or sharing with you our own definition of e-business. So we define e-business as a combination of e-commerce, e-payments, business process automation, and a seamless collaboration with business stakeholders to foster efficiency, productivity, and profitability. So you can see that for us, many people define e-business and stop at e-commerce because they're selling online. Some define e-business as e-payments. So many times the e-business departments of your bank, when they debit you or credit you, you'll get an email from ebusiness@yourbanksname.com. But we say that e-business is a lot more than that. It is really a combination of things. E-payments, e-commerce, your whole business process automation, and seamless collaboration. So when we talk about collaboration, collaboration can be both ways. Collaboration can be internal, how your various departments within your organization, supply chain, collaborate and work effectively, or collaboration could be external. External could be your suppliers or your buyers and people in the value chain. So very key, I did discuss about this diagram, where we say that a lot of the larger manufacturers who are big probably have their own ERP, but the visibility from their ERP stops really at their key distributors. Going past that to the supplier or the retailer, the visibility reduces. So one of the things we'll be showing is how you can actually increase visibility in the value chain. So regardless of whether you are a manufacturer or you operate in the value chain where you're a supplier and all that, at the core of that is really your order to cash or cash to order platform. So CICOD actually simplifies the whole B2B or B2C sales, but you see, for when you talk about order to cash, is how those orders come in. So is it through your sales channels in terms of a terminal itself, or is it even your web channel, which is also a sales channel, or is it your call center where people call you and you have to take those orders in? So the order capture would, on the customer order management, will refer to would show the multi-channel capability of the customer order management system. Treasury, of course, money is at the heart of your business. So when it comes to collections, people are either paying you online, transferring directly to your account, paying you by POS, or whatever channel they are paying you through. But as you know, we're all trying to make sure that we move towards a cashless system. So the Unified Collection Gateway allows you to take payments across all channels and gives you the necessary visibility. Of course, the Workflow Manager deals with your operations. If you are in the sales operations, then it's your back office operations as a whole. Otherwise, it's the end-to-end processes, whether it's HR, distribution operations, production operations. The Workflow Manager is where all that happens in terms of the key activities and the collaboration internally. Also manages your external processes communication into the organization. And of course, your inventory management system. So many times you find that organizations either focus on just their finance application, and if the finance application does a bit more, it then also does inventory management system. But we'll show you how the whole connected party helps your productivity and collaboration. So we discovered, I mean, over the years and even in the last meeting, of course, a lot of people are interested in funding. And so we looked at funding the value chain. Why do people fund the value chain? And where in the value chain are you? Is it raw material supplies into the manufacturer to key distributors and down the value chain through the retailer before it even gets to the consumer? Of course, we said that funding happens in different ways. One is through the bank, funding you for interest or commission. Credit limits that you're providing to your buyers, right? Vendor managed inventory. So your sellers are selling for you, but you're managing the quantity that they have. You're guaranteeing the quantity that they have so that they are able to meet their supplies at any given time. Or you're doing things like drop shipping. So these are innovative models that have worked all over the world, and we need to begin to introduce in this region. But it is global. I mean, drop shipping is where you as a buyer can connect to your seller, sell on from your seller's platform directly to the consumer, and your seller actually helps you fulfill the order. And of course, partner fulfillment also, where your seller or your manufacturer, your key distributor can actually warehouse some of the products with you, and you can do the final partner fulfillment. So one way or the other, it's really about how you seamlessly collaborate for increased sales also. And then of course, we say that these are also inventory finance models because someone is paying for that inventory, someone is holding that inventory before the inventory gets shipped out. So wherever you are in the value chain, we'll be looking at how CICOD actually helps you and enables e-business. One of the things we're excited about in building this ecosystem is how the order management is linked. So as wherever you are, you're usually a buyer or a seller. It doesn't matter what it is you're selling or what it is you're buying. But we want it to be we're making it as simple as 5 easy steps. Connect to the seller in the ecosystem, create your order, request for a financial service provider to fund the order, or you can pay for the order yourself. And then once you get the approvals, the inventory is received, you receive the inventory because the service provider pays the seller directly, and then you carry on to a repayment plan. Now, this is exciting, and everybody always wants funding. You want funding from service providers and all that. But the prerequisite right now is that the financial service providers want to be able to see better and understand your business. In the event a few weeks ago, we talked about how data becomes the new collateral for funding. So the first things first is automating the supply chain, automating the organizations in the supply chain. And once the organizations in the supply chain are automated, there becomes enough data, available data to be used as collateral for funding. So, I mean, part of the things that you would see or you get shown speak about right now is, of course, automating the supply chain from the raw materials, how raw materials are received into the store, through to the production operations, the finished goods store, when the product is finished, commercial operations taking it over to make sure the product gets sold, and then distribution operations. So I don't know if Sean wants right into the demo.
Thank you very much. We're all welcome. Okay, thank you very much for that introduction. I just want to welcome everyone to this webinar about automating the supply chain. So basically, I'm just going to be going right through explaining this diagram before I go straight into showing us what the application does for the supply chain. Now, this flow basically shows us how each of these stakeholders tied together in the supply chain ecosystem all come together to work, right? So from this diagram, we can see that the first here is the warehouse supervisor. Now, as a manufacturer, it always starts from the raw material before it gets distributed or before anything gets produced. Now, the first step here is receiving materials into the store. Now, to receive material into the store, we have an application called the inventory management system. Now, the inventory management system is manages all stock, your stock levels, you have the capability to do your multi-store and all of that. I'm going to be showing you all of that in a minute. Then the next one is, after raw materials have been received into the store, we go on to the production operations system, which is the workflow manager, which is we go on, so we go on to the next process, which is the workflow manager. Now, the workflow manager, the work of the workflow manager is to manage all back office operations, be it requests for raw materials from the store, or even approval of those raw material after request as well. All of that is managed on the workflow manager, as well as your bill of material and all of that. I'm going to show you all of that in a minute. So after raw materials have been received into the store, we use the production operations tool to request for the materials from the store. After that has been done, right, and production has been done using the old bill of material request process, then the finished goods get received into the store, right? So I started with raw material store, finished goods store. It means that the inventory management system has the capability to have more than one store. You can have as many stores as you want on the application. So once it has been it gets received into the finished goods store, and after that we move on to the commercial as happens. Then we can go ahead to sell using the customer order management. So all of these systems are fully integrated. The commercial operations team, which is the sales team, they're able to see the stock balances. They don't have to run down to the store to confirm what we have in the store. They're able to see all of that. They're able to see all of the balances right away. So what I'm just going to do now is to go ahead and start from the customer order management. So I'm just going to be sharing my screen in a bit. Okay, so now this right, so we use to provide value for the supply chain ecosystem, right? So we have the sales. Just before I go on each of them to show you how they actually work, I just want to give you an overview, even though it has been explained earlier. So this is the first system, which we call the customer order management. And then we have the unified collections gateway, the operation system for back office operations, and then we have the inventory management to manage all of the inventory life cycle. So straight away, I'm just going to go into the cost. Okay. Yes. So this is the customer order management. So this is the customer order management. So this is the system that manages all commercial operations, be it launch customers payments and all of that all happens in. So you can see the system shows, this is the dashboard. It shows you your total orders that have been done on the application. You have the total orders and the value and the count of the products of the transactions that have happened, pending orders, all of that, your total liabilities, where you've issued credit notes, maybe for reasons such as rebate, or maybe goods were supplied to your and it got damaged, you're able to issue credit notes using this application. So straight away that you to know the box to block any point in time. Right now, this customer order management caters for whether your process is order to cash or cash to order. Or you're a manufacturer that issues credit facility to your customer. So I'm just going to show you what the looks like, and the kind of that you're able to.
Okay, so Sean just had a challenge, but we'll switch in a minute. I'm also out. Okay, sorry. It seems Sean just had a challenge, but we'll switch in a minute.
We'll switch in a minute.
1 second.
1 second.
Okay. I apologize everyone for that break in the session. It was due to network challenges. So I'm just going to go ahead from where I stopped. Okay, so I was saying that you're able to bring in the application so you can continue from there. So it's not as if you're going to start your transactions all over again. So now this is the customer view, right? Now in this customer view, you're able to, so for as a manufacturer, if you give your customers credit facility, you can just come here and add that credit facility. And then if you have like a credit, So this system shows you how much has been used out of your credit debt and how much is left, which is called the balance, right? Now, in the customer order management too, like I said earlier, you're able to issue credit notes. So when you bring up a customer, right, you're able to see how much is left to be issued to that, how much has been issued to that customer for credit note, and also see the customer's account balance. Now, the available balance is the account balance plus the credit limit. It means that the customer is able to buy based on what the customer has lodged into, transferred into your account, and also buy from the credit facility that has been issued to the customer. So, so basically, if to do, let's take a scenario where the customer has transferred money into your account to buy, let's say to buy a chair. All you need to do is to come here and just do add lodgement. So you just, let's take for example, 50,000 naira was transferred into your account. So you select the date the money was transferred, so which is called the lodgement date. Right. Now, as you can see, when I lodged when I made that lodgement, the system brought up pending orders. So this is the system trying to prompt us to say, now I can see a lodgement has happened. Is there any pending orders? This is for situations where you've given the guys previous orders based on credit. Are there any pending orders to give, you want to use the lodgement you've done to clear? So all of that is going to come here as well. So where there is no pending orders, you just go ahead and cancel the transaction. Now, you have your transaction history, all orders that has been raised. You have your transaction history, all orders that have been raised, and then you have your credit history. You have your lodgement history. You have your lodgement history, your credit note history. That's all the credit notes that you've issued to your customer. You have all of that here. So straight away, I'm just going to attempt to create an order. So straight away, I'm just going to attempt to create an order, right? So okay. So let's take, for example, a customer has called in to buy Macau juice, right? The customer has called in to buy Macau juice. So the system would show you all the products on the system based on what you've searched for, and then you can go ahead to add that, right? So I'm just going to search my name as a customer. So if there are other Oluwaseun on the system, you see all of that here. But right here, the only customer that bears that name or owns that name is just one customer on the system. So right straight, let's say the customer has called as well. You can go straight away to add a new customer, right? You can come here, add a new customer, put in the name, and straight away continue with your order creation. Right. So as you can see, I've added this product. You can straight away apply discounts from here as well. And if there are offers that you've set up on the system, this system also has capabilities for you to set an offer, which in the manufacturing space is called free of charge, where you're saying, oh, if you buy 20, let's say you buy 2 of this Macau, you get 1 free. You're able to add that freebie to the product. Now, for a company, for a manufacturing company that also runs, let's say, loyalty schemes, right? So you're able to put in the points and then you can redeem the points. So all of this happens upon checkout because you've already fed the system with enough information. Now, there are delivery details. Are we saying that this customer should come and pick up, or you want to deliver the goods to the customer, right? Here, we're doing pickup, and then there are different payment options. There's pay now, there's pay account, so there's pay invoice, there's payment, and then there's pay transfer, depending on the payment option that you want. So pay account is basically saying pay from available balance, which means the combination of the credit limit and also the account balance. And then you have pay now option as well, where you can pay online and pay online, then pay invoice. For some reason, it might be that you also want to send an invoice to your customer to pay later. And also you are able to enable part payments as well, meaning this customer can pay, let's say, half of this, and all of that. So you can have that, and then you have your pay by transfer option. But for this order, I'm just going to be doing pay account and accept multiple part payments. Now, this accept multiple part payments means that yeah, whichever payment option that has been picked, we are saying we are allowing this customer to pay in parts. Let's say he wants to pay 1,000 today, 500 tomorrow, and all of that. So you select the location of where you want to you're selling from, and then you click on pay. So once the order has been created, it goes into the workflow manager. Now, the workflow manager is the system that manages all delivery. The workflow manager is the system that manages all delivery, right? So all delivery on the system happens on the workflow manager. So whether it's delivery by depending on the option that was picked, pick up, delivery, or online, the workflow manager does all of that for you. I'm going to be showing us all of that in a minute. So the next that we'll be going to is the value chain, right? Now, the value chain help us provide insight, collaboration amongst all in the supply chain ecosystem, be it the manufacturer, be it the key distributor, be it the wholesaler and the retailer. All of that happens here. So I'm logged in presently now as a manufacturer. So my colleague is going to be logging in as a key distributor. Now, as a key distributor, is going to request to have access into my products, to see my product catalog, so it can directly buy from me, which means that it doesn't need to visit my store before it can buy from me. Right there from his own system, is logged in, requesting access into my product catalog or into my store. Now, at that bit, you can also decide what you want your key distributor or your wholesalers. You can decide the kind of products you want them to have access to see as well. So I'm just going to wait while he sends me a request. So he's going to be sending me a request shortly. So you can see, so you have your received and your sent. It means that at every point in time, you can be the manufacturer or you can be the seller while the other person is the buyer. So received means the request that has been received from you and received to you, right, to have access to your product. And sent, this sent tab simply means all requests that you have sent out, so you can have access to the person's product catalog. So you can have access to the person's product catalog as well. So whilst we wait for that, so I mean, even if it's a request, it means that you can either approve or reject the request, right? So where the request has been rejected, you won't have access to see the person's product. Now, you can see before it was one, it means that before it was just Evans Nigeria, and I approved that. I, as the manufacturer, approved that Evans should have access to my product catalog. Now, Man Stage company has requested also to have access. Now, the default status upon request is pending, right? So once I've approved, it would now have, so there's accept merchant, there's reject merchant. So let's just be nice today and just accept merchant. Okay, we're just going to need to approve. Now, so once I click on what's it called, accept, remember I said that you're able to select the products that you want the key distributor or the buyer that wants to buy from you to have access to. So once you accept, this window comes up, straight up, you're able to select the products that you should have access to. So I'm just going to select some. Randomly and say, okay, I have access to this set of products, and then go ahead and do man stage 1, yeah, which is the key distributor, right, is going to have access to all of these products I'm just going to go ahead and do enable product. Now, once I enable product, the system prompts. Once I enable product, right, the system prompts to say, you're about to give man stage 1 access to 11 products. So let's take, for example, you only wanted to give the key distributor 12 products, 10 products. So you're just going to click on cancel and go back to check which other products you've added that shouldn't be added to it. So I'm just going to come here and just do confirm. Now, once that has been confirmed, right, you can see now that it has been approved. It means that man stage 1 now has access to buy from me. So what I'm going to do, just so that we are able to see, what we are going to do is, shortly before we go there, I'm going to show you how man stage 1 views the product that I've allowed him to have access to. And also we are going to talk about request funding also. But before I get into that, that's basically what value chain is about. Don't forget that I said you can stand as either the buyer or the seller. So it's either you're receiving or you're sending requests to have access to people's products. So on the customer order management, you have all of that capability on the system. So also I mentioned earlier, that you can issue credit notes. So to issue credit notes to your customer, be it for rebate or whatever reason you want to issue credit note to your customer, you're able to do that here, whether it is damaged or because it had leaked before it got delivered to the customer. All you need to do is to come to your create button. So yeah, once you're here, you're just going to search for a customer here. So right here, you have your customer. You just come here and select Oluwaseun, and then you can create as many reasons as you want. The system is configurable that way. There's nothing cast on stone. You can go ahead and create whatever reason that you want, right? So you come here, let's say you have your invoice number, and then you can put in the product. You can put in the product and then the quantity of the product and then the amount that you are issuing as credit notes to this customer, right? So once you've done that and filled all of this information, you go ahead and do send now. Now, right. So you can see, so the total credited customer is showing 1 because it is the same customer here, right? It's the same Oluwaseun. It just means different credit note to this customer, and then the total amount here is also 100,000. So yeah, so that's that about you raising an order as a manufacturer, managing your customer account, issuing credit facility to your customers, or even customers that make transfers to you. And not to forget your sales agent to say, set up your target to say we must meet up this target, and once they're able to meet up the target, you're able to set up their commission earnings to say if you're able to sell up to 10,000 and commission, let's say 2 commission, 2 naira, depending on how you want to run your your sales commission scheme.
Sorry, I think Sean has got challenge again, but I would just go on straight away to show you. I just go on straight away to show you the application where I'll go straight away to show you the application where we just ordered, or would I say logged in as a value chain provider. So share my screen. So this was the main stage. This was the main stage one. And if we go to value chain, you see the request that was, and it has come back as approved. So once it's come back as once it has come back as approved, we can then see our list of suppliers. So you see Fruta Juice Services, and I can then see the products. I can then see the products that were approved for me to sell. So if I look at the product history, so this is now main stage one, who is in the value chain of Fruta, and they can go on to see the various products. So Fruta Pet, Macau, all the products that were approved for me to sell. So going on to create order, I can go on to create an order on any of the product categories. So if I decide I want to create order for Macau, I can go on to create the orders I want. So I add, and you can see straight away within the screen here, you can see that I can actually request for funding. So it means I can create my orders. I can go on to make payment. I can see my payment options. So you can see, because I am new to Fruta, I don't have an available balance. So it means that I have not actually paid in advance to them yet. My account balance, they haven't given me any credit limits or anything like that. So it means that I have to make my payments myself. So that is the pay option. Otherwise, I can request for funding straight away. Now, but like we say, funding is not likely to happen if you do not already have a transaction history. So I can request for funding, and then right here, we would see all the banks available with their options to how they want to, with their options of what their banking offers, and you can go ahead to just apply for the funding. There's an integration going on with the banks where it would also check, it would do a credit check with the credit reference agency on the application, and all that then gets sent automatically to the bank. So standard within that is where you've got the request. So like we always said, that you are either a buyer or a supplier. So you can see that you can either send out requests or receive requests. You can send out requests or receive requests, and that's how that search happens. So very quickly, just as main stage, you can toggle between applications. So the whole back office operations applications, I don't know if Sean is back to take us through that, but I will show you here that you can toggle through the applications. I hope you can see my screen. But you can toggle through the applications and everything. Okay, 1 second. but if Sean is back, I will just log out so that Sean can take over. But if you can see my screen, the workflow manager here allows us to create all our queues and queue types. So this is a newly set up account, but everything around your users, your business departments can be set up here. And so this is just the setup guide. Once you click on setup, it takes you through the process of the setup guide. For each department. So when you set up, actually, there are certain departments that are already set up by default. So finance, complaints, but you can go on to set up whatever departments that are within your organization. There's a default one for the manufacturer, but I'm actually right now I'm logged in as a key distributor. So that's why you don't see the manufacturing or the production queue. I'm just going to toggle to the next application. But before this application, I'll just take you through the menus here. So you can set up your queues or your work orders. Your work orders, let me just go straight to your work orders. So your work orders are orders that have come in to you. Now these orders could have come in as a result of a purchase going in, so it's coming into a particular queue, or it may have come in as a result of a customer contacting your call center and a work order is raised. So if a work order is raised, it comes in here according to the regions and stuff like that, and the tickets begin to count. But I'll just ask that Sean log. I'm going to attempt to log in here as a manufacturer so that she can carry on to take you through the manufacturing value chain. But also as a key distributor, I have my workflow manager, which takes all my departments. I also have my inventory management system if I'm managing my warehouse. Sorry, when it rains, it pours. Surprisingly, today the internet is really failing. Okay, 1 second. So we just log in now as the manufacturer and show to carry on.
Okay, thank you very much. Sorry, the network has been quite unstable. I'm just going to continue because our time is fast spent, so we can take some questions and answers. So straight up, so what he was talking about, basically, I'm just going to pick up from where he stopped. We stopped at where the operations are managed, be it production operations, request for raw materials, request for raw materials, production operations, or the management of delivery. All of that happens on the operation platform. So basically, the work order management tool, which is the operations management, right, is mainly deals with queues and queue types. It means that you can not only can use it for your back office operation, you can also use it for your internal operations, maybe to resolve billing complaints or customer complaints. You can have all of that on the system as well. So you can set up straight away, you can set up your queue. You can set up your queue, right? You can see we have so many queues on the system. So, but then in this manufacturing scenario, I'm just going to be using this raw material queue and production queue. Now, in the manufacturing space, what happens, the back office operations that happens before you see that finished product is that you, the production team, the raw material team, right? They receive raw materials into the store. When production team wants to produce, they will request raw materials from the raw material team. So that's why we've set up those departments here. We've set them up as queues, right? So I'm just going to, this is the queue and this is the queue now. So let me just take a scenario where the production team wants to request for raw materials from the raw material team. So all they need to do is to come to do this. So you just go straight up and just do new record, right? And select raw material queue. Don't forget, earlier I showed us how we are able to set up these queues. It means that this list can be endless. You can have as many queues as you want based on the kind of operations that are set up. They are all configurable. So all you need to do is to come here. Let's say me as the production person, I need a direct material. Direct material, for example, is sugar. Packaging material is, let's say, foil or the container or the preform, right, that are used to produce PET bottles. So you can go ahead and just say, so I'm just going to go ahead and say request for raw materials, request for 50 bags. Yeah, 50 bags of, so 50 bags of sugar. So once all of this have been done, you set up, so I'm just going to run through this very quickly, and you can put, now so the one of the plus of putting your contact phone number or your email address is that you get to, whatever updates that has happened on this work order, you get to have all of that sent to you. Okay, so the system is trying to tell us that city cannot be blank. Okay, so once you've set up your city now, when you're creating your ticket, of course, ensure that you put in your city so that it doesn't throw up that error. So what I'm just going to do is just to show you the work orders that have been created on the system. So let's just speak. Okay, so this person is requesting for 100 bags of sugar, right? You can see the ticket here, and you can see the request that the person has done 50 bags, and all of that request, the person that assigned. Now, when a ticket is created, let's take for example like the one we created earlier. So once a ticket is created, you assign the work order to the resource that is to carry out the action. So all you need to do is to click on this assign to resource button. The reason why you're saying reassign to resource is because this has already been assigned. For situations where the resource you assigned it to earlier is now on leave, all you need to do is to come back here and do reassign to resource. Like I said earlier, one of the perks of adding email and phone numbers is that once you update your status, the person's phone number and email that is there gets that notification. So what update status is basically for external communication. Why, if you want to, let's take for example, you want to tell them something about this sugar that you've requested. Maybe there's something about the brand or something you want to say, easily straight up, you can go ahead to add your remark on the, this is the add your remark function. And see. So you can just go ahead and just say, let's say needed urgently, because this is internal communication. So it means that at any point in time, when anybody views the ticket, you can easily see the history of everything that's happened on that work order. There's no manual, I can't find the paper, I can't find the history. You can already see the audit of all the transactions or that has taken place. You can even go ahead and even take, maybe you want to take picture of the raw material or something that was requested, any file, you can go ahead and just update that file straight away. Now that's the first scenario. Now the second scenario, now as a production team, I've gone ahead now to request this 50 kilograms of brown sugar from the raw material team. Now I need to, after that, it means I also need to request from my store, right? Request from my store to produce. Now in the production flow, there's something in the manufacturing space, of course, there's something called bill of material. So bill of material is a group of products, a group of raw materials, for lack of a better word, yeah, a group of raw materials that make a product, meaning that you're able to set up your bill of material. And because this is the operation system, it means that you've already set that bill of material. Very shortly, I'm going to show you how you can also do all of that setup in the inventory management system. Now, all of the store management and all of your all the stores I've been talking about, all of that happens in the inventory management system, right? So now, let's say, for example, you want to do request for bill of materials to produce orange juice. It means that you've already gone to set up your bill of material to produce this orange juice. So I'm just going to say 10 batch of orange juice. So very quickly. Okay, so. Now, so like I said earlier, bill of material is set up on the inventory management system. Now, while creating my bill of material ticket to request for materials in group, right, you can see that the system is telling me to select the bill of material I want. So right here, I'm just going to say I want this, and then bill of material quantity is how many batches do you want to produce. It means that based on your configuration, the system will know the right quantity to show on the workflow manager for you. And priority simply means how important is this request that I'm making. Now you can see that the system has come up with a pop-up screen. Now this pop-up screen is saying that, fine, you're trying to request for a group of products to produce, a group of raw materials to produce this product. This is telling us that these particular materials are unavailable. 100 liters of that is not. So it's saying, should I go ahead to request the original quantity or cancel the quantity? Of course, request the original quantity, because the system has the capability to notify the store personnel or the email people you've set up, right, to say this material is needed for production, right, and is unavailable. So they would get all of that by notification, email notification. Okay, so also IMS. So once you've done that, you go straight to okay, now this is the famous inventory management that manage all store operations, right? That we've been, so when you hear us say things like raw material store, production store, whatever store, you can rename the store as long as you want, as much as you want. You can rename the store as much as you want, right? All you need to do is you can come here to set up your stores, manage stores. So you just click on your manage stores, right, and add all of the stores. So you can see I already created finished goods store, production and raw material store. You can go ahead and add a new store. Now, I was talking about bill of material, right? Now, this is manage bill of material. Now, managed unit or UOM is basically managed units of measurement. It means that for your bill of material that you're setting up, are you setting it up in liters? Are you setting it up in kilogram? Are you setting it up in grams? Whatever unit, you can add as many as you want. Now, your bill of material category, right? If you group your bill of material category, if you group it, you can have as many here as well. You just create your bill of material category, and also you can go ahead and do bill of material products, right? Now, these are the products that have been created on system, but if you can add as many as you want. So you can have as many as you want. So you just select your category, put in the name, select the unit of measurement. Let's say, right? And then you're saying you can set up 1,000 depending on what this bill of material measurement is. You select the warehouse that is to that houses the SKU, which is the raw materials store, which is the production store, right? You put in the quantity and all of that, and then you save. So you can set up, you can add as many SKU as you want. So far, all of that raw materials add up to your bill of material. Then also you have your stock management. So where, of course, there's no need to be doing, what's it called? To be doing maybe Excel sheet reconciliation and all of that. All you need to do is once the physical exercise has been done for stock taking, all you need to do is you can do a bulk upload into the system. The system will show you what is available and also the balance, right? What is available, the balance in the sense that, or the variance in the sense that what the count of what was done during the physical exercise and what is left on the system. So where there is variance, of course, it leads to stock adjustment. The inventory management system automatically does that for you. So when you're doing your stock taking, it is filtering whichever one has variance. Now, of course, stock adjustment is not automatic. It goes through an approval. It means that after the upload has been done, bulk upload or individual stock take, right, has been done, you can go ahead to approve, because for cases, let's say for example theft, you need to investigate before a stock adjustment happens. You don't just want, where there is variance, then there's a stock adjustment. You can do all of that using the stock management tool as well. So we've spoken about stock management in inventory management system. We've spoken about how we can manage our stores. We've spoken about how we can set up our bill of material. Now, let's just speak briefly about how you receive your materials into the store. Let's talk briefly how you receive your materials into the store. So basically, once your materials are in, you set up your material, you can add new inventory or you can do a bulk upload, right? You can add new inventory or you can do a bulk upload. You can go ahead and receive. So once you receive, it goes through different levels of approval, because of course, we want to be sure that the materials you are bringing into the system do not have defects. So what the inventory management system helps us to achieve is to include a layer called inspection and quality assurance. Now, in the inspection and quality assurance, they do the inspection of the materials and they either approve or reject the material as well. So you do the store approval, and of course, the inventory costing. Each material comes with a price. So it means that once I'm receiving material into the store, I'm able to see all the materials that are awaiting costing, and then you can see, you can go ahead and then approve such material. You can see received by IRQA, by store, by costing, by all of this is based on how your system, how your business is set up. And of course, we have pickup. So once the request has been done using the workflow manager, and it has been approved, the next thing is for the resource person to go to the store to pick up. Now, when the resource is going to pick up, the resource must go with the inventory pickup ID, right? So once he goes there, he puts in the ID, select the store, and then all of that pickup happens. And of course, for cases where, like I said, customer order management, return can happen based on return can happen based on, let's say the goods was damaged or anything can happen to return. So for a customer to return or return the goods, all you need to do here is to come here, put in your ticket ID, select the store you want to return to, and voila. That helps you achieve all of that. Now, once approval has been done, inventory request has been done and it has been approved, the next thing that happens is to reserve the inventory. So on your inventory management system, you're able to see the history of all that was received into the system, that was approved, right? You see all of that list here. And for example, material has been received also into the warehouse, but there's an issue with the material. We also have the capability to return that inventory to the supplier. So it means that, so you select the store that you want to return, you select so it means that once you select the store and enter the inventory, the supplier will get a notification, an email notification saying that you should come and pick, and you can put the comment here. So the supplier will get all of that in an email to come and pick up the inventory. So all of that life cycle happens. Of course, you have your audit of all the things that happened on the system. So that way you're able to trace it. You're able to know who has done what action was done down to the very detail. So you can see this person received 7,000 inventory name, every single thing. You're at every point in time, you're able to track all of that. So that's basically what the inventory management is. You can also manage your suppliers and amongst others, but time won't allow us really go into the system. But thank you very much for listening.
All right, so thank you very much, Sean. Thank you all. We will soon go into the question and answer session. But as we can see, there's actually a lot, so much to cover. But the good thing is it's software as a service, and you can actually log into CICOD.com at any time and request a trial, and you should be able to log in and go through the application yourself and do chat with anybody online. I think very, very key to us, like I've always said, is really in that ability to collaborate, that ability to see an ecosystem where you can actually just connect to any provider at any time, where you can. So this whole connection of ability to look for a seller, connect to the seller and make the orders and make payments is at the heart of the whole collaboration ecosystem. Same thing around where Sean was talking about the different applications that she's hoping to, that then almost reflects a challenge, is that of course that is played by different people and different key stakeholders. So having said that, I think it's time that we go straight into questions. If there are any questions, if you could just put your question on the chat. If you can put your question on the chat, or if you'd like to say something, just raise your hand. So, all right, so we have, before we do that, I'll just ask our panel. We've got Damola Yusuf, who's a consultant and lead of technology advisory, PwC, to say something and talk to us about some of his experiences in the supply chain also. Damola, please.
Yeah, thank you very much, Umi, and thanks everyone.
Damola, you might be on mute. Can't hear you.
Hello,
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thanks, Umi. Thank you very much, Seun, for the comprehensive demo. Just at the back of the session we had last week, it's very clear, and that's what we see in consulting for organization, that the need to move into a digital space. It's no longer a matter of if, but it's a when. I remember vividly one of the biggest takeaway for me on the session last week was when somebody said it actually can be classified as an existential issue. You automate or you die. It's very, very important for us to keep looking for opportunity to key into automation of solutions, such as the one that the solution we've demonstrated today is providing for yourselves in your industry. We were actually looking forward to quite an interactive question and answer where you ask specific question. But the good thing that Wumi mentioned is the fact that this solution is a web-based. You can the onboarding process, setting you up, talking to you about what needs to be done can happen so quickly, and you could be up and running in no time. I know you said that, but I just want to reiterate that. And what we're trying to do to encourage the eco space is to just help you with the economies of scale by if we provide situation like this that is on the subscription that you can actually take advantage on a subscription basis, it will help with your cash flow. So the need to shell out a lot of upfront costs in setting up your system will be taken away from you, and quote and unquote you can operate this and be very efficient on a pay-as-you-go basis. Apologies for one or two issues that we have, but I believe you've seen enough, and that we've been able to tickle your thoughts around how you can take advantage of the solution that we've provided, and most especially the interaction and being connected to this ecosystem. Imagine being able to attract funding, imagine having access to the banks, imagine having pre-selected banks that are happy to provide funding for you, being linked to your credits, being linked to the transactions that you want to do. It's a lot of opportunity, and then I really hope that you give it some thought, and we're open to take you through the journey. While we have interaction and the relationship with Crown Interactive and PwC, also there are a few things around financials, setting up your processes, having the right governance in place. That is what we do in PwC, and helping you from cradle right to when you scale up efficiently. Looking at everything, including your people, the kind of people you need in this digital age. So we have a collaboration that can talk to any part of your business, and not just the technology. We believe the technology doesn't exist in a vacuum, and that's why we've come together as a team to really provide service for this industry, for this sector that we believe is very key to kickstarting the kind of revolution that we hope will happen in the manufacturing industry. So we'll still look forward to getting some of your questions. If you can type that, we're not doing too well on time. I think we have less than 10 minutes, but if you want to say something or type something into the question, I can see someone has asked for costing information. How much will it cost for my team of 5 to get access to CICOD? Wumi?
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, basically, I mean, the pricing is found online, but it is a user license. So we have grouped this into two. We have the supply chain. In the supply chain module, if you are a wholesaler distributor, so wholesaler is about 8,000 Naira per user, which is about $15. Would I say $15, $20 per user? A distributor is about 12,000 Naira per user, which is about $30 $30, and manufacturer is 15,000 naira per user. However, that isn't to say that if you're, depending on where you are in the ecosystem, because we separated the pricing supply chain versus e-commerce. So sometimes people just want to use this for e-commerce where they want to be able to run their business, whether it's online or locally. On that e-commerce side and the commerce side, the pricing is slightly different. There's a light version that just gives them only the customer order management at 1,500 naira per user. There's a standard version that gives them that with the customer order management with the workflow manager at 5,000 naira, and then there's another option at 8,000 naira. But these commerce ones do not give you the connected ecosystem. It doesn't give you the value chain model. So if you are in the value chain module, you should be looking at the supply chain. So that if you are in the value chain module, that's an average of 8,000 naira per user per month. So it's $20 per user per month.
And Wumi, I believe I can add that for specific requests, if you just reach out, someone will contact you from the team that will analyze where you are and what is best for yourself. What Wumi is giving us is usually our rack rate, and then we'll look at what is trying to analyze what you need, what is actually the right thing. When you say 5 of my team, we might just be okay with 3-4 licenses if we
exactly
scope it properly, or you might just be 6. So it's important to have those discussions first. So it's not just about the going straight to cost. Let's even understand where you are, demonstrate a little bit more about the value you get, and then we'll get to that decision around specifics of money. Yes.
Yeah, that's so true. So any other questions? So we just have 5 minutes.
No.
So
the follow-on question, and it's I think it's from the other person. I guess that's what I was trying to address. Who do I contact to get going?
Okay, so I mean, there's a chat. You can actually chat or just send us an email, but there's a chat on CICOD.com itself. Once you connect on that chat on CICOD.com, someone will reach out to you immediately and you can get going. At the same time, if the platform allows you register for a trial period. Now, while you're in that trial period and while you are even within their application, there's also a chat there. So we try to promote the e-contact first. If you are local within Nigeria, we can then schedule a visit to know a bit more about your requirements, but everything starts online. Okay. So in the event of no other questions, so please feel free to contact us. From a consulting perspective, just like Damola said, we're structured in a way to scale, and we're structured in a way to engage at different levels. So that's why we've partnered with PwC, where we can deal with the very large organizations who require more demand in terms of consulting, because we're actually a core technology business. So that's where the strength of the PwC comes in collaboration with us. So without much ado, Damola or Sean, do you have anything else to say, or Damola, and then we can close the session.
Not a lot to add on, but thank all the participants for your patience. I hope, just as Wumi said, this will be just the start of some good interactions. We'll keep in touch with everybody that is registered, and then I'm sure you'll be getting some information from us on a regular basis. Once again, thank you for your time, and I hope it's been a very useful session and worth your time.
All right.
Thank you.
So, thank you, everyone. Have a brilliant weekend.